जितना भी ऐसे
So inshallah we're going to start. This is the part of the ayah number 26 that we were doing last time. And we did few words of this ayah, but I'm going to start from the beginning. Few things about the ayah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna Allah la yastahyi an yadriba mathalan ma ba'udatan fama fawqaha. So this ayat relates something about a reply from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to those people who say that why in this Quran Allah talks about small things like ants or fly or other things like that. So Allah is answering in this ayah that Allah does not feel shy or ashamed mentioning even if it is a small object like a mosquito. So this is the part that we started last time, and I'm going to read you a few of the words. The first two words here are Inna Allaha The actual word is Inna and Allahu. Okay? The word is Allahu, but as we learned last time that Inna, which means indeed, does few things. Inna means surely or indeed. Inna comes in the beginning of the sentence, and also when Inna comes before a noun is Allahu, it changes into Allaha. Okay, meaning does not change. Only the last letter of the noun, which is Allahu, changes from a Dhamma to a Fataha. Okay? So, Inna Allaha means indeed or surely Allah. Surely Allah. Okay. Then the next two words are La Yastahyi. Okay. La Yastahyi is start from the word Ha, Za, and Hamza like that. Okay. The meaning of this word is to laugh. Okay. Haza means to laugh. Okay. But when we put the three letters Alif, Sin and Ta before that, this is a different word, but the root letters for the first word is Ha, Ya and Ya. This means to be shy. If someone feels shy, we say he has haya or she has haya. Okay, so that is Ha, Ya, Ya. Okay. When we put the three letters Alif, Sin and Ta in the beginning, this word becomes Istahya. Istahya. Istahya means to feel shy. Okay? So difference between Ha, Ya, Ya and istahya is that to feel shy. Okay? A person is shy, but when we say istahya, that means he or she is feeling shy. Okay? So that is the meaning of istahya. Okay? The word la yastahyi is from the word istahya. Yastahyi means he feels shy. La yastahyi means he does not feel shy. So Allah, because the word before that is Allah, the meaning will be Allah does not feel shy. Okay? So la yastahyi means, la means not, and yastahyi means feel shy, feels shy or ashamed. Okay? So Allah does not feel shy, or Allah does not feel ashamed, or Allah does not feel embarrassed, Allah, indeed or surely, Allah does not feel shy. Okay? Then the next words after that are an yadriba. Okay? So an means that. Okay, and an has some characteristics, and we will look one more time. An means that. Okay? The next word starts with these three letters: Dad, Ra, and Ba. Daraba. Okay? Daraba means to mention or to say. Okay? So it means to mention something.
To hit, is it same?
Daraba has several meanings. One meaning is to hit or strike someone. One meaning is to say or mention something. Okay, so in this ayat, daraba is to mention. Okay?
Like Daraba Masal Nadi.
What? Yeah, daraba. This is here, and in other place, daraba comes for hitting something. Okay? So daraba. Okay, and we know that if we put a ya in the beginning, yaf'alu, if we have three letters, fa, ain, and lam, and we put a ya in the beginning and pronounce like yaf'alu, this means he does. Okay? Fa'ala means to do, yaf'alu means he does. So whenever we put in front of the three letters a ya, it becomes he, third person, and present tense. Okay? So yaf'alu means he does. So if we use this will become yadribu. Yadribu. Okay? The only difference is that in this case the middle letter has a kasra. Okay? So yadribu means he mentions. Okay? Yadribu means he mentions, or he says. Okay? Yadribu, he mentions. Okay? When a word like this, yaf'alu or yadribu, comes after an, some change takes place. Okay? What happens? That, remember the meaning is here, he mentions, present tense and third person. Okay? So when we combine an with a present tense word like this, okay? So the combination will be an plus yadribu, these are the two words, These are the two separate words. An, yadribu. Okay? When we combine them, an has an effect on this word. It changes the dhamma of the last letter to a fatha. And its meaning changes slightly. Okay? So first thing will be an yadriba. Instead of yadribo, it will become yadriba. Okay? The other thing is that when we pronounce this, we don't pronounce noon because there is a ya, so we pronounce ayyadriba. That's the tajweed part of it. When you have a ya and noon together, it's like ya and noon. Then instead of pronouncing an yadribu, we pronounce ain. It becomes noon gunna, comes out from the nose. So pronunciation is different thing. That will be ain yadriba, and for that we put a little shadda here. That means this ya should be pronounced twice. Ain yadriba. Okay? But that's a tajweed, that's different.
इख्फा
idgham.
Idgham.
इख्फा
That's idgham.
ये गुन्ना जब है ना तो ये इख्फा हुआ ना
No, this is
नाक
idgham.
में आवाज
Gunna, idgham.
नून की आवाज जो नाक में आई है ना
Hmm.
तो वो इख्फा हुआ नाक में छुपा के उसको बोलते हैं ना अन यद्रिबा
नहीं नहीं ये idgham. Idgham is gunna.
Idgham. I think word is not ikhfa, idgham.
इख्फा इसमें है ना इदगाम
So this may be a
Different
Yeah.
rule, but this is idgham.
Yeah. So an yadriba means that he should mention. This can bring the meaning of he should mention. Allah does not feel shy that he should mention. Okay? Or he mentions. Okay? But the main thing is that the dhamma from the last letter will change into a fatha. Okay? So an yadribo will become an yadriba. Okay? And also from a terminology point of view, whenever there is a word and its last letter is a dhamma, we call it in the state of rafa. When it changes to a fatha, we call it a nasab. Okay? So these are the two changes that take place. An yadriba, that he should mention. Okay? Allah does not feel shy that he should mention. Allah does not feel shy or ashamed that he should mention mathalan. Okay, so let's look at this word. Okay. So the root letters are mim, ta and lam. So from these three letters, if we make like this, if you put two fathas on the first and second letters and two dhammas, so it will be mathalun. Mathalun means example. Mathalun means example. There are another word which is used very frequently in the Quran, which is mithlun. Mithlun. This means same as. It has a different meaning. Same as or like. Mathalun means example, and mithlun, both words come in the Quran a lot. Okay? Mithlun means example or like. So in this case, the word mathalun is used. Okay? Mathalun means example. Okay? There's some more here. Ye purani. Achha. I think then I don't have any more. This is old one.
This is the new one.
So you can take that. Okay. So Allah does not feel shy that He should mention, or He mentions the example. Okay.
It's another addition of Aleph with Mathalun.
Right. So that's what I'm coming next. The word is here. Yad Reba. Okay. The word before that is Yad Reba. Okay. The meaning of this word is he mentions, right? Okay. So they actually, the word, Arabic word has two English words in it. A he and a word mentions. Okay. He is a file, means a doer. Someone is mentioning something, which means this word he is a file. Okay. And this person who is a file is saying something. So mention is a verb here. It's a verb, or it is called a fail. Okay. So we have a fail. Fail means verb. And we have a file, which is the doer. Okay? Or in English it is called subject. Okay? So this file is doing something. Okay? He is mentioning something. What is he mentioning? He is mentioning masalan, an example. Okay? Which is originally, it is masalun. So he who is a file, who is a doer, is using a verb, and using that verb on this word, masalun, example. So this is maf'ul, or this is object. Okay. So in Arabic this will be maf'ul, or in English it will be object. Okay. Whenever there is an object or there is a maf'ul, the two dhamma changes into two fathas. This is the characteristic for mansoob, maf'ul, or the thing which is being said. So this masalun will change into masalan, right? Also, whenever there are two dhammas on any letter, we write with an alif. It is written like that. Masalan. Okay. Whenever there are two fathas, we have to write an alif. That's the writing way of Arabic. If there are two dhammas, you write two dhammas. If there are two kasras, you write two kasras. But whenever there are two fathas, you add an alif for writing purpose only. Meaning does not change.
Also, when you pause, become masala.
Then you stop. Yeah, your reading is stopping. Then you say masala. But the actual word is masalan. Okay?
That's
So-
only change when you add a verb before it, adjective before it?
No, not adjective. It is the rule that whenever you have a file
Okay.
and you have a fail, then this file and fail requires something to work on, which is maf'ul. Maf'ul always comes in two fathas. So maf'ul comes in two fathas. Okay? This means two dhammas change into two fatha, rafa change into nasab. When I say nasab means two fathas. When I say rafa, it means two dhammas. Okay? So that is the reason the word became mathalan. Meaning is still same example. Okay? So you will see a lot in the Quran that when someone is doing something, that something comes in the state of nasab, which is with two fathas.
On the general rule, so all the objects start with mim, like maf'ul, ma'lud, this.
But see, for a complete sentence, if somebody is doing something, then you need three things in a sentence. You need a person who is doing something, then that person is subject, or in Arabic it is a file. Then some action is happening. That is a verb. Okay? Now this person is doing something. What that thing is a maf'ul. Okay? So that maf'ul always comes with the two fathas. Okay? File will not come with two. File will remain as it is. Okay? For example, the word is Allahu yadribu. Allah stays as Allahu, but inna change Allahu. If inna was not there, then the word will be Allahu yadribu. Okay? La yastahi, if I don't translate that. Okay? So always it's a rule that in Quran you will see the same word coming with two dhammas, sometimes with two fathas, sometimes with two kasras. Okay? So we have to look at the rules. Okay? So here, masalan means example. Okay? Okay. Ma ba'udatan. Ma means that of, or of that. Okay. Or that only.
Where is this one? I would like to have the same. I don't have it here. It's different.
Yeah, no, I think I put out everything that I had.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Yeah, so. No, I ran out of all those. If someone has an extra copy. Ba'udatan, next word, ba'udatan means mosquito. That's just a noun. Okay? That's just a name, a noun. Ba'udatan. Okay? Again, the original word is ba'udatun. The word is ba'udatun. Ba'udatun means mosquito. So the word is ba'udatun. With the two dhammas at the end. Ba'udatun. Okay? Again, in this sentence, the example of mosquito is coming. So mosquito is a maf'ul again. Okay? So whenever it is maf'ul, it becomes again with two fathas. Okay? So that's the reason you will see in the Quran, ba'udatan means mosquito. Okay? So this is mosquito. Okay. After that are two words, fama fawqaha. Fa, ma, fawqaha. in general, fa means so and ma means that. Okay? Fa means so and ma means that. Okay? The way this word is coming in the Quran is Allah saying that He does not feel shy that He should mention the example of a mosquito or something smaller than mosquito. Okay? Two things, mosquito and a smaller or smaller, same thing. Okay? So in general, this whole thing can be translated or that of. Fama can be translated or that of. Okay. Then the next word is fawqun. Fawqun means above. Fawqun means above. And ha means her or it. Ha means her. Okay? And the reason ha is used here because the word ba'udatun has a ta marbuta at the end. Okay? So whenever there is a ta at the end, ta marbuta, that thing may be a female object. Okay? Like sajidatun. Okay? When there is a ta marbuta, it may be a female object. Feminine. So because ba'udatan is feminine, ha is used for that. Her. But in English you can translate it. Okay? Above it, when you combine fawqaha, this will become a fawqun and ha, it will become above it. Okay? But if something is very small, then fawqaha will be translated is smaller than that. Fawqa, as I mentioned last time, can be used to represent something which is above. Above means bigger. Or if it is a small thing, then it can be smaller than that small thing. So fawqaha means is smaller than it. So fawqaha means is smaller than it, which means smaller than mosquito. Okay? So Allah does not feel shy that He can mention or he should mention the example of a mosquito or something smaller than mosquito. Okay? Smaller than mosquito. Okay? So fawqaha will be translated as smaller than it. It means mosquito. Okay? Or smaller than it. Okay. After this, the ayah says, فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Okay.